Hello everybody, it's Dan and I'm about to give a song and character analysis on Persepolis and the song by Nina Simone called Ain't Gonna. And to make this whole video flow better, I'm going to divide the video into two parts. One describing the appeal of the song to us and how it uses those pathos logos. And two, we're going to describe how the song and Persepolis actually intertwine with the characters. And that's what I'm going to be talking about. So hope you guys enjoy.
Now, in the first appeal of the song is pathos. In the first two lines, it says, I ain't got no house, I ain't got no shoes, and I ain't got no money. Now, those first three lines, or the first three lyrics of the song, basically give us a feeling of sympathy towards her. Because she's down on her luck, she's not financially stable, and everything that we need, she doesn't have. Those kind of things kind of makes us sympathize with her, because many of us may understand how it feels to be down on luck, or we may sympathize with others who are financially stable and that have money on their pockets. It's something that we kind of feel bad for those people, and that's why we try to help in charities and stuff like that. So that's where she really plays with our emotions. But she doesn't stop just using those words. She continues on in her song, which I'm about to tell you in the next segment. Ain't got no mother, ain't got no culture, ain't got no friends, ain't got no schooling, ain't got no love. Nina Simone, line 6 through 8. Now, as you hear the representation of the lines 6 through 8 from Nina Simone, from yours truly, you can see that in the song, she kind of feels like an outcast. She doesn't have a mother. She says she doesn't have a mother. She doesn't have culture. Doesn't have nothing to relate with. She's always outcast. And many of us sympathize with her because many of us can know how it feels to be outcast, or sort of out of sorts, or not having someone to be there for you. And those kind of feelings cause sympathize with her. Pathos is all over her song. And that's just two examples of how she trying to play with her emotions to make us more interested in what she had to say. So it's time to go to logos. Now the song doesn't only play with our emotion, but also appeal to our logic. Now in the first, no, not in the first, in line 11 to 12, it says, hey, what have I got? Why am I living anyway? And this really appeals to her logic because she keeps discussing all the things that she doesn't have. All the holdbacks, all the things she doesn't have, no religious beliefs, no culture, nothing to really, hold her in a stable spot. And you kind of think to ourselves, what does she have? What does a person like her have, not having so much stuff? And that's the thought that keeps going through our head. And that's a part that really appeals to our logic. And she doesn't stop there. She continues to appeal to our logic with the next few questions. Lines 13 to 14. The next few questions in the song that really appeal to our logic, it says, yeah, what have I got? No, but what that nobody can take away. Well, that's a question we've been thinking about when she first said the first two questions. She continued to appeal to our logic to understanding what we're thinking. Because in the beginning of the song, she discusses what she doesn't have. And now she's saying, what does she have to that no one can take away? And that really, these two questions, all of it appeal to our logic to the point that it makes us think and curious. So curious that we're willing to listen to the rest of the song to see her answer to those fatal questions. And she really was good in appealing to our logic and formulating it in this way. Now, she doesn't only use the appeal to our emotions or the appeal to our logic, she also uses our status to show us some stuff too. And we're going to see that at the end of the song. Now the example that you can see at the end of the song on line 29, which says, I got the life. Emphasis on the life. When she's saying all these things, she's talking about all the things that she has, as you see in the song. When you see in the song, she's talking about all the things she has. So she has, she got her mouth, her tongue, all these things. And she says, I got the life. Now, we have to take her point of view on this. She's the one with the money, the fame, the popularity. And obviously, she's saying that she's living the high standard of life. And the only way we can really know this is take her word for it. Because she's have the most money, she has the most fame, and maybe she is living the highest standard of life. But this only appeals to her logic, because we have to take her position for that to trust that line. It's nothing else, no logic, no emotions, it's just her position, saying that because of my position, this is the life. emphasis on the life. This is not just used in one instance. She doesn't stop there. She says in line 27, I got my freedom. Now, the reason I say this is a line for Ethos is because if you look her up, she is a civil rights activist. She's a songwriter, pianist, and a civil rights activist. Meaning, when she says, I got my freedom, we have to trust that she truly says that. Because at this time, we had to understand that segregation. At this time, we had to understand that civil rights movement is happening. And saying that she has her freedom when most of the people at this time says that we don't have our freedom, we need to fight, we had to really take her position on it. Because she's a civil rights activist. And we only can trust her thoughts on this, saying that society doesn't have her chains down her. We can't say that. It's only her position that can truly give us that appeal. There's no emotion, no logic. It's just her status as a civil rights activist that really makes that line truly sink in. Now, that's going to be the end of segment 1. Let's go to segment 2. Since we're acquainting ourselves with the song and all its meanings and appeals that it has towards us, how does the song parallels with the main character Marjane from Persepolis? Well, in the song, it really has many instances that can really describe Marjane's experiences in the book. Let's start from line 2 of the song. It says, I ain't got no money. Line 2 of Nina Simone. Now, this can really parallel about many aspects of her life in the book, but there's one aspect that really comes to mind when it comes to ain't got no money. When she left Iran and went into this new westernized culture, she decided to leave when she got fed up with everything. She decided to leave, and she didn't have any money to eat or sleep or anything. So she had to go in the garbage, go do all these things that you wouldn't want to experience. She had to experience. So she was laid down in the trash can, and she really understood the meaning of ain't got no money. And that really relates to how she felt and what she experienced was during that time. Now, if you continue in the song, it says in line 5, I ain't got no man. Now, this statement directly parallels how Persepolis, the main character Persepolis, Marjane, feels. Especially when she went into outside of Iran. She had 2 relationships that didn't work out. And when she came back and got married, she got divorced. So she didn't have anybody that she can do. She had no relationships, and none of the relationships were good. So she really had no man during those period of time. And this really just can directly parallel how she feels at that point in time. Now, if you continue into the most controversial line of the song that I feel, at least for me personally, is the most controversial. She said, Nina Simone says, I ain't got no God. Now, this line parallels how Marjane felt when she was in her youth. After her beloved uncle died, she decided to basically tell God, get out of my life. I don't want you in my life anymore because you didn't do what I want you to do. And because of that, she decided to no longer allow God to really tell her what to do or listen to what his voice was. So her God was no longer her God. She had no God at that point in time. She gave up her religious tendencies and traditions and says, I have no God. Now, if you go back in the song, and I don't know why I'm saying now so many times, but if you go back in the song, you will come across a line in the song which says, ain't got no culture. This lyric really describes Marjane's adolescence. During this period of time, she wanted to renounce her Iran culture for the culture of the West. She didn't want to have this culture that she had. She wanted to be Michael Jackson, listen to popular Western music. All these things that her culture, her religion, everything forbids. So basically she's saying, I have no culture. I'm giving up my culture. I want the Western culture. I'm giving it up. So this really parallels how Marjane feels. All these lines it seems like it was written by Marjane herself. It really does. And that's because all the lines describes her mindset and how it changed. And that's why we have to understand that this song and the Persepolis, it's like interchangeable. It's like the person made this song for this character. And that's why I guess I like how people, great minds think alike. So, depending on what you think is great. But that's the end of the video, and I thank you guys for watching. Sorry if I rushed a little bit in a little bit of video, but I hope you guys can understand my point and enjoy it. Alright? See you later.